So we're talking about the debates, and one thing that nobody really talked about, at least that I saw, was China. And I'm not talking about the people in the debate, the candidates. Of course, they talked about China. They spent a long time on it. But during the commentary on it, the narrative continues to be that which supports these companies. And, of course, those companies pay for everything. So the narrative is that China's stealing. If y'all pay attention, I don't know how many of y'all watch Dr. Richard Wolff's videos over at Democracy at Work, but they do some great work over at Democracy at Work. You should check their stuff out, because basically everything I'm about to say, he said far better, like far better than I have, and could possibly, because the man's dedicated his life to economics and is basically a walking bucket of Ivy League graduate degrees. So, you know what I mean? Of course he's going to be able to explain these issues better than me, but I'm going to do my best. So the one thing we need to understand is that, first and foremost, China didn't steal anything and is not stealing anything and hasn't stolen anything. They're not stealing. The one thing we need to understand, the other thing we need to understand is it's very fundamental here. And I'm going to be extra, extra basic. It's called international trade. The key word is trade. You give something, you get something back. America wanted to get cheap labor, or at least American companies that were trading with China wanted to get cheap labor. So they had to give something up. You want to get that cheap labor? You got to give something up. What did they give up? They gave up the rights to some intellectual property. And they also invested heavily in China's economy. So, like, this is a known thing. It's been a part of American relations with China for the longest time. You think they're just, like, put yourself in China's shoes for a second. You think that you're just going to sell out your own poor people and get nothing in return if you're a government? Because it's basically what they're doing. They're selling them out. These are companies that are more than capable of paying a decent living wage. More than capable of doing that. But they want to continue to work off of that capitalist model and make sure that the money keeps coming in, that they keep growing and growing and growing and growing, because that's the way capitalism works. And you're going to give them what they want, and you're not going to get anything in return. You're just going to be like, no, come take advantage of our people. Word? That's how you think that's what China was going to do? No. China said, all right, fine, come in, do that. That's fine. Give investment. And China did what anybody else would have done, any other country would have done in that situation. Like, they took advantage of these American companies that were stupid enough to let people do their job. You thought you was going to give them your technology and let other people work on it and work with it to do the jobs that Americans were doing? And they weren't going to take that technology and reverse engineer it with the money you gave them in investment? You really thought that was what was going to happen and how that was going to go down? I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you at all. You're an idiot. American companies are like, you can't get mad at that. That was the agreement. That was what it was expected to happen. Sorry, I don't feel sorry for you. Not one bit, especially considering when those actions and those jobs that you shipped over to China hurt a lot of Americans. China has seen ridiculous amounts of growth for their working class. Sure, the average, the per capita GDP is only like 7,700 and something dollars, 7,700 and something dollars right now. But they got a billion people too. And on top of that, if you look at where it was 30, 40 years ago, it was like 1,700. Their economy has consistently grown in China by 6 to 9% annually for the last like 10, 15, 20 years. America, which is supposed to be the best country in the world, has had 3% on the good years. So they're doing twice, 3 times as good as us in terms of growth. And that's what's going to drive your investment, because they invest expecting a return on that investment, and that return is based on the growth that you have in your economy, the GDP growth. So this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're talking about when we talk about China. Their economy is just doing better, period. And why is their economy doing better? Because they're giving people better paying jobs than they had. End of discussion. It's not they're doing nice capitalism. And let's keep it 100. China got a lot of shit wrong with it. I'm not going to sit here and say China is doing super fantastic right now. That's not the case at all. But if we're going to talk about China and we're going to talk about trade with China, I'm going to need y'all to come correct and bring facts.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.